Quickly go to this conversation now. The ANC has condemned the use of the South African flag by former President Jacob Zuma during an engagement with the Moroccan Foreign Minister Nazir Bourati. The party says that the move was reckless and is a violation of international diplomatic norms. The ANC has called on the Department of International Relations to issue a diplomatic protest and seek an immediate explanation and an apology from Morocco. The ANC has further slammed Jacob Zuma for what they describe as a dangerous precedent that threatens South Africa's sovereignty. For more on this, let's now speak to Nomvula Mokonyane, who is the ANC's first Deputy Secretary General and, of course, also the chairperson of the ANC's Subcommittee on International Relations. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Why is the ANC protesting against the stance that has been taken by the MK party?
Morning. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Morning, Aldrin, and morning to your viewers, and thanks for inviting us. Firstly, there's disinformation that is being peddled around, misinformation and distortion of history, and with a total move from what we as South Africans stand for, what the ANC stands for, and most importantly, what is good for humanity. And this is the basis why the ANC has come out to condemn Jacob Zuma and his party for exploiting the plight of the people of Western Sahara for their own nefarious benefits. And in that's why we're saying he is wrong to then raise the flag, to support separate development, a Bantustan system, a system that undermines national sovereignty and self-determination.
Mm-hmm. To what extent, though, is it a flagrant disregard for international norms and standards?
It is largely a disregard for that, because firstly, Jacob Zuma goes out there, makes a statement that is totally outside of what the African Union has actually resolved on the issue of Western Sahara. An African Union where he has been a participant and a representative of the people of South Africa. Secondly, that we as the party, as you understand, we were formed to unite the African oppressed masses, and that anything that opposes that kind of thinking and an idea of uniting Africa continues to be unpalatable. And here goes a person who has been part of a government and an organization going out to distort history, to undermine all efforts of finding a peaceful solution through the AU, through the United Nations, for the people of Western Sahara to have their own identity, their own flag, their own government, and govern on the basis of norms and standards that are within the Charter of Human Rights of the United Nations. Instead, he says, no, they must be given some corner, and Morocco must be the one that runs and rules, and they must be like a former Bantustan called Sky or Venda or whatever, because that is what Morocco wants to do. It does not want to allow the people of Western Sahara to be a nation that is recognized within the rules that define a nation.
Yeah, I think that the difficulty around this, to a certain extent, is also going to be that this is an independent political party with its own views. Yes, this is Jacob Zuma, used to be the president of the ANC and used to use the language that was used by the ANC. I remember even back in 2017 with the ANC's January 8th statement pledging support for the people of Sahrawi, and then on top of that also the opposition to the inclusion of Morocco to the African Union. But then again, this is now Jacob Zuma, the MK party leader, who is seemingly taking a different stance to what we have known him to be taking, but is taking a party different stance.
And it is precisely that South Africans and the people of the world must see of Jacob Zuma. Here he is going in and out of every court, demanding that he wants to remain a member of the African National Congress. For what? This is a man who can be associated with us. This is a man who can be identified with what we stand for. This is a man that indicates that within a period of 3 years, he already disowns everything that he has done and acted upon. So South Africans and people of the world must begin to question, who has he been? He may be a party that is independent, but we will refuse that he must generalize and say South Africa. He must actually say now he has seen a new Jerusalem for himself, that possibly it's not him now having a new position. It means he has always been inconsistent. Your stand on Pan-Africanism must be the basis of why you are committed to the emancipation of the people of South Africa and people of the continent. It can't be a flip-flop, a decision that you take today, a position you hold, and a position that you just all of a sudden come out and raise. That flag is a flag that symbolizes unity of the people of South Africa. That flag is a flag that symbolizes that we have done away with the Bantustan system. That flag is a flag that actually seeks to say we may be divided, but let there be something that unites us. And therefore you can use that flag to go and stand in front of cameras and people of the world and say, let the people of Western Sahara remain disenfranchised.
All right. Let's quickly speak about your urge to the Department of International Relations and Cooperation's DIRCO to issue a formal diplomatic protest. What should that formal diplomatic protest look like? And Morocco could argue, as a sovereign kingdom, we have decided to actually host this particular individual called Jacob Zuma and his political party, the MK party. And that's a sovereign decision that was taken.
We never go anywhere and claim to represent the South African government. Jacob Zuma can't go to Morocco and want to go and represent South Africa. Morocco itself can be opportunistic and embrace Jacob Zuma as somebody who represents South Africa. He must go and represent his family party. He must go and represent himself. And he must never also distort history even of the African National Congress. So that is what we want. When I, Nomvula, head of international relations, go anywhere and interact, I don't go and interact on behalf of the South African government. There is a government and there are parties, and that's why the response that we are conveying is from the ANC, frowning on a character that has got double standards, frowning on misinformation about our history and relations with Morocco, and appreciating that our renewal must also be about reflecting on some of the mishaps that happened when he was the head of state, like what has happened to Libya. I think it was intentional now that the veil has been removed.
Yeah. Makasela Mzobe, who is in the office of Jacob Zuma, this is now for the MK party, issues and response to some of the criticism. And one of that is what he says the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, received Sunday the Secretary General of the African National Congress of the Republic of South Africa, Fikile Mbalula, and the delegation accompanying him in his visit to Algeria. And of course, then you have the South African flag there as well, being displayed in that meeting. Is this a double standard coming from the ANC?
Not at all. Go and look at the bi-national agreement between the government of Algeria and the government of South Africa. totally different from what Makasela that we know can actually try and want to push. Of course, if there is an agreement between the two countries of working together, we as a nation, we have to rally behind that position of the country. Just yesterday, Alfred, you had Stienesen in China. He was actually doing selfies with Xi Jinping, appreciating that he now understands the kind of relationship that South Africa and the People's Republic of China has got. And he was very excited because he had also seen the other side of what he was wrongly fed about what China is about and our relationship as South Africa. The issue about national interest, the issues about humanity, the issues about mutual benefit and trust is also important in this. So Makasela is just bringing something that is far-fetched from making their case acceptable. Let them go and receive money in Morocco. Let them go and receive money in Israel. Let them take stances that show that indeed these are people that are not Pan-Africanists.
Yeah.
These are people that don't want peace and a better Africa.
Okay. Do you know whether the MK party did receive money from Morocco as well as Israel, as a matter of fact?
I don't know. Their former Secretary General is the one who has said that, and Makasela Mzobe has not rebutted that.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.